And good morning and welcome back to the Buffalo County Fair. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN Radio. This morning it's the Beef Show here at the Buffalo County Fair as we continue our coverage from this year's fair. Later on tonight at about 6:55 or so, we will have the livestock auction as well this evening from the Buffalo County Fair. So getting ready here in just a couple minutes. We'll have our beef show getting underway. And should be a beautiful morning today so far here at the fair. It is going to warm up later on this afternoon if you are making plans to come out to the fair later today. But right now, a beautiful morning. And temperatures as well in the 60s, upper 60s, low 70s, not too humid yet, not too hot yet. I'm sure, though, that will change here later on this afternoon. But sit back. We'll be getting things underway here in just a couple minutes. Again, just a few minutes away from this morning's Buffalo County Fair Beef Show. So we'll be getting things underway here shortly. And throughout the morning, we will be thanking our sponsors as well. Please thank our sponsors. They make our live streams possible, including Sunny Sky CBD downtown Durand. Visit Sunny Sky CBD online. You can find out the latest CBD products for you and your family, also your pets too. Yep. They have products for your pets. We actually use some for Cookie at the house, at home. Those products from Sunny Skies help Cookie with her arthritis. It makes her feel better, too. So check that out online at sunnyskycbd.com. Also, thank you to Wisconsin Credit Union, serving their members for over 80 years. Visit wisconsincu.org for more information. Chippewa Valley Energy, supporting the 4-H and FFA youth of the Chippewa Valley and serving the Chippewa Valley since 1922. Find out more at ChippewaValleyEnergy.com. And Dunn Energy, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, along with Entech, your premier communications and entertainment provider, Durand. Again, please thank all of our sponsors. They make our broadcasts possible, our live streams possible here from the Buffalo County Fair. Give our sponsors a call, drop them an email, visit their business, and tell them thank you for supporting our live streams from the Buffalo County Fair. Well, I think we have a judge already. Let's see, our judge is here. Yes, our judge is here. We do, though, have a delay. We are going to have a bit of a delay here. We do have an exhibitor that has been injured, and they are checking that out. And this is where cattle would be coming in. So we do have a little bit of a situation here at the fairgrounds. We're going to have a few minutes delay here while they take a look at the exhibitor as well. So sometimes that happens. Looks like a exhibitor may have been stepped on, and so they're gonna take a look at her. But where that exhibitor is at, they can't bring any cattle in, obviously. So we will have a bit of a delay here for a few minutes. And while we wait for that, I'm going to go see if I can't get a program here too. So it looks like we have 22 classes today. And again, we do all of the regular judging, and we then, when they take the break for the showmanship, that's where we will step away. Again, though, we do have a bit of a delay here. We did have a exhibitor injured, but now she's on her feet, which is some good news, but they're going to have to help her as well here. So they're trying to, and where she was for, that's where they would have been bringing in cattle. So obviously they had to wait here. So we've had a bit of a delay, but things will be getting underway here in just a minute with our first class, which is beef breeding, beef Angus heifer class, or heifer calf rather. And so we'll be getting that underway here in just a couple minutes. Again, just a few minutes yet before we get our beef show underway here in just a couple minutes from the Buffalo County Fair. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN Radio. And again, thank you for joining us today on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and also our website at realcountry1430.com. If you missed last night's hog show, that is now available to watch as well at our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting WRDN. So if you missed last night's hog show, you can watch that again on our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting WRDN. Those of you watching on our Facebook page, let us know where you're watching from. You can let us know in the comment section. We've had folks from all over the country that have watched our live streams, which is pretty cool, including Utah. That was from last week. Florida last week as well from the Dunn County Fair, and Michigan too. So let us know where you're watching and put them in the comment section if you're watching on our Facebook page. You're welcome, Carl. Carl Dooley checking in with us. Carl, hope you're doing well. That's Buffalo County Ag Extension Agent Carl Dooley. By the way, while we're waiting, red and black Angus. Did you know they're named for their color and Scottish origins? They're the two most popular breeds of beef cattle in the U.S. Well, it's because they're naturally polled. They don't have horns, which, of course, makes sense, right? They also do well on the range with little attendance, and they produce excellent quality, highly marbled meat. And their bodies are thick and sturdy as well. That gives them the ability to pack on the pounds as well. So the two most popular breeds of beef cattle, red and Angus beef. Now, don't forget about, a lot of people, of course, in Wisconsin, that may not be real affiliated with the beef industry. When they think of cattle, they think of black and white, like they see in the fields all the time. Holsteins. But remember, Holsteins are more of a milk breed, of course, on the cow side, not on the steer side. So the cows from Holsteins are thin and bony. That's normal because it puts as much energy as possible into making milk instead of meat and fat. Now, of course, we have the dairy steers. They're going to be much bigger because obviously they're a steer. or a bull. They don't make milk, and so they will pack on the pounds. We'll have the dairy show too tomorrow, don't forget. Starting about 9 o'clock as well here from the Buffalo County Fair. Again, we've had a bit of a delay. Things should be starting here in just a moment or so. Again, we had a delay. We had an exhibitor that was injured, and so they wanted to make sure that she's okay. She is okay. She did walk off, at least with a little help under her own power, but where she was at while they were checking her out kind of caused a bit of a delay. So we'll have things getting underway here in just a couple minutes. And thank you to our sponsors as well, including Adams Super Service, your Napa Gold Car Care Center, Durand, Prime Realty of Durand, the area's #1 home seller. Visit their website at primerealitymidwest.com. And Security Financial Bank, where electronic banking is easy. Visit them online at sfbank.com. And Alcivia Co-op, a leading member-owned agriculture fuel cooperative serving Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois. Visit alcivia.com for more information. Again, please thank all of our sponsors. Without the help of these businesses and organizations, it's simple. We wouldn't be here. If they didn't help us, we wouldn't be here. So please thank all of our sponsors. Give them a call, drop them an email, visit their business, and tell them thank you for supporting our video streams, not only from the Buffalo County Fair, but also Northern Wisconsin State Fair, the Dunn County Fair, and next week's Pierce County Fair as well. Again, we'll have the beef show this morning, the livestock auction tonight. And again, we've just had a bit of a delay, but things should be getting underway here shortly. 22 classes this morning.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get the show underway here in just a few minutes. Couple reminders to the public and family members. The barns are closed during shows, so all non-essential personnel are to be either watching the show in the show arena or outside of the barns. This also includes the wash rack area. Please, dairy exhibitors, wait to wash your dairy animals until after the beef show. So, family members, I'm talking grandmas, grandpas, cousins, brothers, sister, anybody who's not directly involved in the showing of your animal needs to be watching in the arena or outside of the barns. Thank you.
Again, we'll be starting here in just a moment. I think they're going to get, they're going to start getting at least our first exhibitor as well. And then we will be underway. Had a little bit of a delay due to an exhibitor injury. Those of you watching on our Facebook page at WRDN 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM, leave a message in the comments of where you're watching us from, what state you're watching us from, where you're at. Be interested to find out. We've had folks from all over that have let us know where they've been watching from. So let us know in the comments section, those of you watching on our Facebook page. If you did miss last night's hog show, that is now available on our YouTube channel as well at Durand Broadcasting WRDN. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the little bell for future notifications of upcoming events like today's beef show or tonight's livestock auction. That will also be on our YouTube channel too. I think we're ready to go. All right. Well, I saw somebody coming, and now I see no one.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Beef Show. We are excited to have you here this morning. We're going to start off with a single entry class with the Angus Junior Heifer Calf with Maddie Wick.
So we are underway with our first class. Of course, the beef show a little bit different than last night's swine show, where they opened the gate and they let them all in. Again, we have one exhibitor in our first two classes. This is Angus Heifer Calf. And our exhibitor here then this first class is Madeline Wick.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy to be here judging here at the Buffalo County Fair. I'm starting off a show with a great single entry here, Angus Junior Heifer Calf. A heifer that I really think has got a bright future for this young lady. A heifer that being a little stubborn this morning, but when she gets out and moves, she really fills her tracks in. Really sound, good-looking heifer calf. Heifer that's obviously got a lot more time to continue growing and developing, but a heifer that's really got a lot of the right pieces. She's actually correct. She really ties in that front end really nice, and heifer that really, once she continues to grow and develop, I think is make a really nice show female and a cow for this young lady down there. Give her a round of applause.
Next class, we have our registered bred heifer junior with Drew Jurassic. Thank you. A little bit closer? Okay.
Now, his mic keeps cutting out. We need to let those guys down there know his battery's going. Oh, that could be his battery. Well, let's just see if that was just a one-time thing or not. Again, this is Drew Jurozek. He is showing his other registered breed heifer calf today. As we have 22 classes today in our beef show.
On deck, we should have our other breed heifer calves with Bailey Bromer and Kaylee Fernholtz.
Well, of course, we think of meat from our beef cattle, but did you know some of the other items we get from cattle? Gelatin. Yeah, including Jello. That is also that gelatin's used in Jello, yogurt, marshmallows.
Another really nice
didn't
single
know that.
entry here, Hereford heifer calf. Heifer that you really got to appreciate this heifer for her growth and performance. A young man tells me she's a March heifer, and boy, she's really got a good start on her for being a March. That she's really getting out there and growing and doing really well that way. If I had to get a little picky on her, I might say she's just a little steep in her pasterns. I'd like to see her move off her rear two just a little more comfortably as she gets out and goes. But that may be also she's just a little bit stubborn for him here today, and might just get a little more comfortable with time. Heifer that I think has got a lot of potential for this young man and is going to be a really good one going down the road.
So congratulations to Drew. Up next, our other breed heifer calf.
Now in the ring, we're going to have other breed heifer calves with Bailey Bromer and Kaylee Fernholtz.
So again, some of the other byproducts from the beef industry. Now again, that gelatin used in Jello, yogurt, jelly, marshmallows. I did not know that. So marshmallows, actually part of marshmallows come from cattle. Gummy candies, soft shell medicine capsules, and mayonnaise.
On deck, we should have our shorthorn heifer summer yearling with Trent Ritter.
So there's just a few of the byproducts. So I'll run down some of these other products as well here throughout the morning that you might be surprised about that come from cattle. More than just those yummy ribeyes. We might try to. I'm gonna. Casey Denks with us. She's announcing. She's right next to me. So I gotta find a microphone here, and we might plug it in. So in between, we'll chat with her. Of course, she's the past FFA president. She's now done with FFA, but now she's working real hard now with helping out with the shows. So we'll probably try to chat with Casey here a little bit. I just got to figure out how I'm going to get the microphone here hooked in. We're doing that. Let's see here once. There we go. Whoa. Well, yeah, the cattle, the calves are going to be a little bit cranky this morning. All cattle have a little bit of a little start. They just twist the tail. That's kind of like their starter. Yee, yee, yee. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right. Again, those of you watching our broadcast on our Facebook page, you can put it in the comments where you're watching us from. And I think those of you on our YouTube channel can do the same thing. I just won't be able to see the YouTube comments.
Well, nice set of heifer calves here. We're going to start off the class with this young lady's bigger black heifer here. A heifer that really gotten off to a good growing, got a lot of nice muscle pattern to her. She's really getting outgrowing high performance heifer. If I had to get a little picky on her, I'd just like to maybe put those pieces together a little into more, in a little more smooth. She's got a lot of muscle expression. She's got a lot of rib and a lot of bone, but heifer that maybe just doesn't tie it quite together, just quite I would like to see, but one that I think as she continues to grow and continues to develop, she might continue to put those pieces together even better. Nothing to take away from the heifer in second, but a heifer that maybe gets just a little outpowered from the heifer in front of her. Heifer that maybe doesn't have quite as much expressive muscle, heifer that maybe is just a little flatter inner muscle pattern. Maybe you'd like to see just a little more capacity in this heifer, but obviously she is young. Young lady says she's in April, and she's got a lot of time on feed and a lot of time to grow yet to see what she does down the road. But a really great set of heifers for these two young ladies.
Now in the ring, we'll have Trent Ritter with his Shorthorn Heifer Summer Yearling.
So as we continue on with our beef show,
On deck, we should have other registered bred heifer summer yearling.
Again, 22 classes today. Thank you to some of our sponsors, including Synergy Co-op, your local LS&T YM tractor dealer. Visit synergy.com for more information. Also, Compeer Financial, a member-owned farm credit cooperative serving and supporting agriculture in rural communities. Visit compeer.com for more information. And Bluff Country Feed and Seed, your Dairyland seed dealer. They also have a new feed mill as well. You can talk to Matt at Bluff Country Feed and Seed here in Mondovi, or visit them online at bluffcountryfs.com for more information. Please thank all of our sponsors. They make our broadcast possible.
Well, this young man brings us a really nice single entry heifer that really puts a lot of good pieces together for me. She's just a heifer that's really balanced. She may be, outstanding in one particular area, maybe not, but she really puts those pieces together. A heifer that's got some femininity about her, does have some rib and some capacity, and really when she gets out on the move, she really can, get out and go comfortably. And one that I'm not concerned at all about her soundness, but a young man that I think this one's going to make a really good heifer for him going down the road. Really good cow, hopefully to put back into his herd. If I had to get maybe a little bit critical, I'd see she maybe slopes just a little bit off from her hooks to her pins, but other than that, that's picking on a pretty good one that really puts a lot of good pieces together.
Now entering the ring, we'll have Elizabeth Wayne with her other registered breed heifer summer yearling.
Again, please thank all of our sponsors. Drop them an email, visit their business, give them a phone call, tell them thank you for supporting all of our video stream broadcasts. Without the help of these businesses and organizations, we wouldn't be able to bring you today's beef show from the Buffalo County Fair. So please thank all of our sponsors for supporting these broadcasts. As we continue on, we are now in the registered breed heifer summer yearling. Elizabeth Wayne is in the ring at the moment.
On deck, we'll have Hereford heifer junior yearlings.
We'll have coverage of tonight's livestock auction starting at about 6:55.
Another really nice single entry short influence heifer here that this young lady has. A heifer that I'm actually kind of excited to see her come back and stand up against some other competition because I think she could. A heifer that really, you got to appreciate that mature. She really has got a lot of capacity. Just a heifer that's got a lot of overall volume and I think really maternal look about her, something you really got to appreciate her. Hopefully that she could make a really good cow for this young lady down the road. Heifer that too, she really, even though she's got a lot of capacity, got a lot of rib and volume about her, she's still together in a really nice package, got a really nice front and a heifer that also gets out and moves really comfortably as well.
Let's just see what happens. I just want to see what happens here. Because if that one keeps cutting out, then that one still does the same thing. Then we'll try backing down a mic, but not until then. So.
Now entering the ring, we should have our Hereford Junior yearling with Allison George, Dylan Jurassic, and Cadence Varaguth.
Again, watching coverage of the Buffalo County Beef Show.
On deck, we should have Mason Bauer and Trent Ritter with their Red Angus Heifer Junior yearlings.
This one seems to be working fine back here. This one seems to be working fine back there, right?
It is, and it's very possible that it's viewing out. But oh man, I don't know. Let's just see it. See that one's. But see, this one also seems like you're a little louder on this one, so it's very possible it was cutting out. Let's just see what happens here before, because he's got a really big booming voice as well. But people aren't hearing the whole reason. They're gonna start getting mad.
Yeah.
And they had problems with it yesterday. It was feeding back, and so I'm wondering if something else happened. Ken, those of you watching on our Facebook page, put in the comments where you're watching us from. Let us know on this beautiful Friday here in Mondovi. It's a very pleasant morning.
Going to start off this class with this young lady, Hereford heifer here. A heifer that I think sorts herself to the top in this class pretty easy. One that really puts a lot of pieces together for me. She really can get out and move, and a heifer that really, another one that's kind of got that maternal look about her. Got a lot of rib and volume and capacity. Heifer that really you got to appreciate a lot of things about her. I've had to get a little picky on her. Maybe said she gets a little bit more terminal looking up in her head and neck, up in her face, but one that really puts a lot of good pieces together otherwise, and really I think is just a really well-balanced heifer. I think there's a little bit of give and take in the next pair of heifers, and I think it just kind of all lays in what you put as your preferences when looking at these two heifers. Heifer that's really got a lot of growth and performance coming next. A heifer that's maybe a little tighter off both ends of her skeleton, and I'd like to see her move out just a little bit more comfortably. Maybe get stretched out a little bit up in that front 1/3, but a heifer that I think has a lot of good qualities about her as well. Heifer that comes out and rounds out the class, really not a bad one either. Just one that maybe is just a little past 12 o'clock when it comes to condition. Maybe like to see her just lose a few pounds of fat and kind of see what she looks like after that. She's being a little rambunctious today and like to see her maybe move out a little more comfortably as well. But a heifer that I think is going to make a really good cow for that young lady as well.
entering the ring, we have our Red Angus Heifer Junior Yearlings with Mason Bauer and Trent Ritter.
Your home for farm news and markets throughout the entire day is WRDN Radio. We feature 7 hours of farm news and markets Monday through Friday. We kick it off bright and early from 5 to 7 a.m. with the WRDN Morning Farm Report, farm news, farm markets, agriculture, weather, dairy news with Bill Baker. We have interviews with folks in the agriculture industry as well, and also farm news with Mike Pearson and Farm Progress America. All of that, along with some great classic country music, too. That's during the WRDN Morning Farm Report from 5 to 7 a.m. Hourly market updates during the 9, 10, and 11 o'clock hours at about 35 past.
On deck, we should have our other registered Heifer Junior Yearlings with Connor Bauer and Hannah Bauer.
Also during the noon hour, we have our noon show starting at about 12:30 with an update on the markets, farm news, and our agriculture weather. From 1 until 3, Chip Flory is in with Agri Talk, and she has the latest news and issues not only affecting the farm markets, but also the latest news and issues affecting rural America. From 3 until 4, it's America on Agriculture. And at 4:30, Susan Littlefield wraps up our daily farm coverage with the Fontenelle Final Bell, where she talks with market analysts from across the country about the not only grain markets, livestock markets, but dairy markets too. You can listen to our farm programming, of course, on AM 1430, AM stereo 1430 WRDN, along with our FM signal at 107.3 FM, and online at realcountry1430.com. Through the Alexa app, you just download the WRDN skill on your Alexa app and then say, Alexa, play Real Country 1430. We're also on Google Home, Apple CarPlay, and your Roku TV device, too. So plenty of ways to listen. And you can always listen online at our website as well at realcountry1430.com. Well, every now and then we have again, just being a little cranky, does not want to cooperate yet this morning. Hello, Uncle Don, I'm supposed to say. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Oh.
Yeah, man. Going to start out the class with this young man's Red Angus heifer here. One that I think really puts a lot of good pieces together. She's giving him a little bit of a hard time here today. But once she does get relaxed and comfortable and gets moving, she really kind of does set herself in and gets pretty sound about herself. One that actually this heifer obviously is a little bit harder haired than some of the heifers that we've seen ahead of her. So really what you see is what you get on this heifer. And you really got to appreciate that about her, that really she's got a lot of muscle shape and capacity about her. Heifer that really puts some pieces together. I might want to tick her down just a little bit in her hip, in that hip loin junction. She might get a little bit of high and tight there, but again, obviously as she's a little gets a little unruly and pops up there a little bit more than maybe if she was just a little bit more relaxed and comfortable. But kudos to the young man for hanging with her and getting a really good one stuck. Heifer that comes out here in second, a heifer that I think just gives up a little bit of power and overall capacity and muscle shape to the heifer in front of her. Heifer that just comes out here just a little bit greener to us today. Could get a little more groceries pushed to her to get a little bit more condition and a little bit more capacity to her. Heifer that you really got to appreciate her front 1/3 and her length of body. She does have some really good pieces about her. Just one that you'd like to see a little bit more feed and a little bit more time to kind of see what she develops into. But a really good set of Red Angus heifers.
Now entering the ring, we should have Connor Bauer and Hannah Bauer with their other registered Heifer Junior Yearlings.
Okay, continuing on with some interesting items that come from cattle and beef byproducts. Okay, we're talking about some of the edible products. Now, the plasma protein that comes from beef cattle is used in cake mixes, deep fried batters, pasta, and also imitation seafood. Now, that's different. Imitation seafood, some of the items in that are coming from beef. That's who'd have thought, right? That's just a few of the products that come from beef. We'll continue on to it. It's a pretty cool list of different items here.
Yep. On deck, we should have Mason Bauer with his Angus Heifer Junior Yearling.
Again, watching continuing coverage of our Buffalo County Beef Show this morning. 22 classes in store here.
Well, we got a lot of give and take in this pair of heifers, and I think, honestly, if you wanted to talk me the other way and make me place them the other way, I think you could do that too. But I think heifers that have some pretty good qualities about them, just a lot of differences as well, and that's kind of where I think I sort the young man's black heifer to the top. Heifer that maybe just has a little bit more depth of body, a little bit more length of body and frame size about her. Heifer that, if I could, maybe get her to move out a little bit more comfortably, tie in that neck-shoulder junction just a little bit more neatly, and maybe just give her a little bit more expression of top and muscle. Heifer that's maybe just a little flatter in her muscle pattern. A heifer, I think, that's very similar in that respect, has kind of that same flatter muscle pattern, those kind of things that I'd like to just see a little bit more volume in her. A heifer that maybe gives up a little bit of depth of flank, but a heifer that the thing that you really got to appreciate about her actually is her outline. Once you get her stopped on the stand, she has a pretty nice profile, but a heifer that maybe gets a little bit under herself, maybe could move out a little bit more comfortably, and a heifer that you know, as she gets going, that top line kind of breaks in her loin just a little bit. Like to see that just a little bit stronger, but a good set of heifers from those two young showmen as well.
Entering the ring now, we have Mason Bauer with his Angus Junior Yearling. On deck, we'll have Alan George with his Simmental Heifer.
Thank you to O'Galley Cheese Factory. Visit O'Galley Cheese for all of your snacking needs, featuring cheese, locally made beef sticks, sausages, and more. They're open 7 days a week. O'Galley Cheese Factory, Highway 25, Durand. Numbers R Us, Common Sense Bookkeeping, and more. They're a certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor and Daily Money Manager. You can visit Rhonda online at numbersrus.com. She's also here at the Buffalo County Fair as well in the commercial building. Pierce Pepin Cooperative Services, your Touchstone Energy partner, and 24/7 and West Wisconsin Telecom. Building smart fiber optic communities from the ground up. Find out more. Visit wwt.coop. Please thank all of our sponsors as they make our broadcast possible here on WRDN. Give our sponsors a call, drop them an email, visit their business, and tell them thank you for supporting our broadcasts. Without their help, it's pretty simple. We wouldn't be here at the Buffalo County Fair. So please thank all of our sponsors for their broadcasts, or for their sponsorship of our broadcasts today. Let us know where you're watching us from this morning. You can do that on our Facebook page if you're watching us via Facebook Live. Folks from Colfax and Durand checking in as well this morning on our Facebook page. But let us know. We've had folks from as far away as Florida and Utah. And Michigan checking back in again. All right. We had Michigan last week, too.
Another good single entry that this young man brings out to us with his black heifer. Heifer that has got some really good pieces and parts about her. Just maybe like to see her tie him into herself just a little bit more balanced, I guess, than anything. Heifer that's maybe pushing a little more chest forward, a little coarser up in that front end, lower front end, and maybe just like to see her a little bit deeper flanked and a little more capacity to her. But a heifer from her upper front 1/3, she's really clean neck, clean in her throat latch. Heifer that you got to appreciate the femininity about her. And she does get out and move when this young man gets her on the move. She does feel her tracks and is pretty sound in that respect, but a really good heifer for this young man.
We'll now have Alan George entering the ring with his Simmental Junior yearling.
Okay, so we continue on with our beef show. Here's some more things that come from beef.
Up deck, we should have our other breed heifer junior yearlings with Dunbello Bauer, Hannah Bauer.
So,
Bailey Bromer and Marley Bromer.
all right. Okay, so Casey will now announce the next class. Okay, so another beef byproduct here from the fat. Okay, the fatty acid base from the fat is used in chewing gum. That's right. So another item coming from beef. Just a few of the edible items, more than just those wonderful ribeyes. A lot of different non-edible products as well. We'll talk about that. I mean, we got a ton of them. It's like, holy smokes. Never would have known. And we'll tell you about that here coming up as well. And it's more than just leather. But we'll talk about some of those leather
Single entry Baldy heifer that this
items.
young man brings out to us. And boy, once you get this heifer on the stand, she's really striking. A heifer that's really got a lot of show ring presence about her, and he does a really good job presenting her to us here today. A heifer that's got a lot of capacity in middle third. A heifer that's got a really nice, clean, feminine front end. But a heifer that if I got to pick on her a little bit, I'd like to see her a little more comfortable structurally off of both ends of her skeleton. I'd like to see her just reach a little bit more comfortably off those rear two. And a heifer that maybe just gets hopped up in her top and her tail head just a little bit more than I'd like to see. Like I said, just like to see her a little more comfortable and a little more athletic on the move. But boy, that's a pretty good one from a show ring standpoint and from a look and side profile. A really, really good one that this young man has. Just like I said, just like to loosen her up a little bit, see her move a little bit more comfortably and athletically, and I think she could be a really, really, really good one.
Now entering the ring, we should have Dunbello Bauer, Hannah Bauer, Bailey Bromer, and Marley Bromer with their other breed heifer junior yearlings.
I think I'm seeing a belted Galloway coming in. That would be Rhonda's favorite. Of course, these heifers right now are just a little bit cranky. They're like going, come on. Well, maybe I don't want to come in. Once the logjam was stopped, everyone's going to run in now, right? There we go. Yep, so the belted Galloway on the far end. Yeah, that's Rhonda's favorite. Always like them.
On deck, we'll have Elizabeth Wayne with her other registered breed heifer senior yearling.
Okay, we'll continue on with our beef byproduct list. This is compliments, by the way, of Ag in the Classroom. Some of these are pretty cool. Okay, of course, the leather, the hide, the leather and suede. Okay, that is, a big thing. Now, in that, of course, upholstery, luggage, plenty of clothing, you bet. I mean, if you've ever had a leather jacket. Gloves, wallets, which I have. I have one of those, you bet. Basketballs. No, I did not know that. Basketballs and baseball mitts. All can come from the leather and suede. The baseball mitts I knew. The basketballs, for some reason I thought that was like football. Footballs come from pork. From the swine industry. The pig skin, you bet. So I thought basketballs were like that, so I learned something new today. Just a few of the items coming from the hide. Now, from the fat and fatty acids, boy, that's a huge list. And we'll tell you about them coming up as well. That's a big list of stuff. And some of these items are things that I never even knew. Some of these items are used in your vehicle. And those of you watching on our Facebook page, thanks for checking in. Check in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from today. Michigan's checked in. We've had Wamandee, Durand, Colfax. Thank you to Provisions Health, changing the way you experience healthcare in Durand. Find out more at provisions.health. Chippewa Valley Energy supporting the 4-H and FFA youth of the Chippewa Valley and serving the Chippewa Valley since 1922. Find out more at ChippewaValleyEnergy.com. Wisconsin Credit Union, serving members for over 80 years. Visit wisconsincu.org and Sunny Sky CBD, downtown Durand. Visit Sunny Sky CBD online. They are a veteran-owned company. Find out about all the different products, not only for yourself and your family, but your pets too. We use some of the products from Sunny Sky CBD for our dog Cookie at home. Cookie has rat terrier mix. She does have some arthritis issues. She's 12 years old. But the products from Sunny Skies have helped her with her arthritis and make her feel better too. So check that out. You can visit them online at Sunny Sky CBD as well. Check out their website or visit them in downtown Durand. And not only is the Buffalo County Fair going on, we have, of course, Blues on the Chippewas going on in Durand this weekend. Getting down to the final two. Well, Rhonda's Belted Galloway is going to
What kind of
win it.
challenging class here of any other breed heifers? I think because you got two pairs of heifers here that are very, very different type from each other. And it's kind of, I guess, again, where you lay your preferences on this one. A couple pair of more moderate framed heifers that start out the class, but I think a couple heifers that got some pretty good breed quality about them and some pretty good overall quality about them as well. I'm going to start off with the young lady's black heifer that's just got a little bit more presence to her, got a little more feminine through her front 1/3. She's level topped, heifer that really gets level, or is really level from her hooks to her pins. And when she gets out and moves comfortably, she really fills in her tracks and does what she needs to. Maybe gives up maybe just a little bit of body to the heifer that comes out in second, but I think the heifer that comes out in second, that's where you got to really appreciate her, is her amount of rib and belly that she's got. Another more moderate framed female, but a heifer that I'd like to see her get out and move a little more comfortably, maybe tie in those pieces just a little more smoothly, as a comparison to the first place heifer, but a good set of heifers to start off the class with. And another different, like I said, very different set of heifers that would come out in third and fourth, and I think there's kind of some pick and choose here that you gotta do to figure out where exactly your priorities lay with these two. Heifer that comes out next, heifer that's, you got to really appreciate her length of body, her femininity. Heifer that maybe just gives up a little bit when it comes to depth of body. She's just maybe a little more shallower and harder muscle than I'd like to see her. But a heifer that really, like I said, you got to appreciate the parts and how she puts them together, and I think is going to make a good cow for this young lady down the road. Heifer that rounds out the class, nothing to take away from her, but a heifer that maybe, excels at maybe a little bit of the heifer above her, that maybe she's got a little more muscle shape, but I'd like her to tie those pieces together just a little more smoothly. She gets a little bit higher in that shoulder blade and chine. Heifer that maybe like to see her level her up through her top just a little bit more, and just a little bit more smoothly put together like the heifer in front of her. But a good class of heifers for these young showmen.
Now entering, we'll have Elizabeth Wayne with her other registered bred senior yearling.
As we continue on, our next class.
On deck, we should have Drew Jurassic and Dylan Jurassic with their other registered cow 2 years or older.
Okay, we'll continue on with some of the items that come from the beef industry here. These are non-edible items. So, in the fats and fatty acids department, we have things like cosmetics, and I knew that. Detergents, I knew that too. Cellophane, really? Well, that kind of makes some sense. Floor wax. They use fats and fatty acids from the beef industry for floor wax. Deodorants.
Well, just a single entry Hereford female that this young lady brings out for us, an October heifer, so a little bit older, but one that, man, you got to really appreciate this heifer's maternal look, her cow power that she's got. Boy, she ties that all into a nice package. She's got a really nice front 1/3 and ties in at the top of her neck into her shoulder really smoothly. Heifer that's really level topped, level from her hooks to her pins, and really gets out and goes when she gets on the move. A heifer that you really got to appreciate a lot of, like I said, that really cow look that she's got about her. She's got a ton of gut, ton of belly and rib. One that's really going to make a good cow for this young lady down the road, and hopefully be able to raise a lot of calves and last a really long time in her herd for the way that she's built. Really good one from this young lady here.
Now entering the ring, we should have Drew and Dylan Juresic with their cows 2 years or older.
As we continue on with the Buffalo County Beef Show.
On deck, we should be looking for Kaylee Schultz with her cow-calf pair.
A really nice pair of 2-year-old Hereford cows that these two young men bring out to us today. Cow I'm going to start the class off with. Boy, this is a really nice looking cow. She really puts a lot of good pieces together structurally and just overall. She's really got that look about her as well. And I've heard it from someone once that, it just takes just as much to feed pretty ones as it does to feed ugly ones. So, but she's she's the front pasture kind of cow. Really love to see what she's producing as a calf because obviously both these cows are working right now. But really love to see what she's doing as her calf outside. But that's a really nice young cow that's going to do a good job for that young man down the road, and I think really going to last a long time for him. Nothing to take away from the cow that comes out in second. Another really good cow for this young man. Cow that I think where she gets beat is in her structure. A cow that as she gets out and goes, she maybe hops up in her top a little bit, maybe slopes a little bit off those pins from behind. But a cow that you got to really appreciate for the body and the udder quality on that cow as well. A cow that I think is kind of the same boat as that first young man that I think is a cow that's got a lot of longevity and production in her as well.
Entering the ring, we have Kaylee Schultz with her cow-calf pair.
Your home for NASCAR all season long, WRDN. And this week we're in Michigan. And we'll have our Xfinity Series race coming up on Saturday afternoon. Coverage beginning at about 1:30. Sunday, it's also from Michigan, our NASCAR Cup Series race starting at 12:30. Can listen to NASCAR all season long on WRDN. And through our streaming audio online at realcountry1430.com or the Alexa app, Google Home, Roku TV as well.
On deck, we'll have Hannah Bauer with her Simmental cow-calf pair.
Going through the cow-calves right now. As we continue on with the beef show.
Well, we've got one heck of an Angus cow-calf pair here, even though she's a single entry. Young lady tells me she brings out this 2-year-old cow to us, and boy, for a 2-year-old, she is raising one heck of a heifer calf. Heifer that's got a lot of growth and performance about her, and obviously she's doing the work, and she still looks good herself. Really got to appreciate that about her. Cow that really, still has some presence about her as far as the show ring, but obviously she's doing her job and raising this calf, doing a really great job. Cow, you really got to appreciate her body capacity, her overall condition at this stage of the game, and one that's got a lot of udder quality as well when it comes to teat shape and teat size and shape and placement as well. And I think a heifer calf that really, like I said, just growing really good performance out of this one that I think down the road, if she follows in her mother's footsteps, she's in a pretty good situation.
Entering the ring, we have Hannah Bauer with her Simmental cow-calf pair. On deck, we should have Drew Jurassic, Dylan Jurassic, Cadence Verguth, and Hannah Bauer with their other registered bred cow-calf pairs.
Really nice single entry Simmental cow-calf pair that this young lady brings out to us. Another 2-year-old. It's kind of cool to see so many younger 2-year-old cows out here doing their job and doing it well, really. Really nice bull calf at side. Just an April bull calf, but he's doing really well for his age. He's getting growing and he's got a lot of muscle shape, and I think really gonna, whether she decides to make him a steer or a bull, I think one that's gonna do some real good for this young lady. But a cow that really ties her step together really well. She's got a really nice front 1/3. A cow that's got plenty of capacity. Levelness about her. She's still keeping her structure together as she continues to raise this calf and work hard. Another one with some really good udder quality that you got to appreciate about her, and one that I think is another, you love to see it when they're this young, that they're working hard and they're raising a calf, but they still keep condition and they do a lot of good about them. I got to commend all these young people for bringing out these really good cow-calf pairs, because we show quite a few cow-calf pairs, and I have over the years, and I know how much work it takes to get them out here, get them shown, and get the cow and the calf to look really good, but another really good pair from this young lady.
Now entering the ring, we have Drew and Dylan Jurassic, Cadence Verguth, and Hannah Bauer with their other registered cow-calf pairs.
Again, continuing on with our Buffalo County Beef Show. As we continue on with our Buffalo County Fair coverage, again, those of you watching this morning on our Facebook page, leave in the comments where you're watching from. We've had Michigan checking in this morning, Wamandee, Durand, Colfax as well. So let us know where you're watching us from. You can put that in the comments at our Facebook page. As we continue with our cow-calf pairs. Okay, we have some more beef products here. Again, from fats and fatty acids that are used in some of these products. These are non-edible products. Okay, pet food. Yeah, we knew that.
We have one single entry class before our championship drive, so if you received a first blue, please get ready, and if you received a second blue, we'll have you on deck and ready to come in the ring if you need to.
Okay, so some of the other items that are made using fats and fatty acids from beef. Beef cattle, okay. Pet foods, again, we knew that. Candles, well, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Insecticides, I didn't know that. Crayons, really? Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like to eat the red crayons. I don't know.
Really nice set of some Hereford cow-calf pairs here, and obviously these first two that are going to lead off our class are ones that were in our cow class. And boy, when they come out here with their calves, man, do they not disappoint. They both come out here with two really fancy, nice-looking heifer calves. Heifer that got some growth about them, and really some show-ring presence and look about them as well. But the cows that are really doing a great job. We talked to them a little bit in the cow class, and that's kind of where we'll leave them where they're at. Young man that's coming out first has just a little bit younger heifer calf than the one that comes out in second, but two really nice calves that follow those cows, and I think they're kind of ones that look like they really put that imprint of they're going to be a lot like their mothers going down the road, and that's not a bad thing at all. Three-year-old cow that comes out here in third, nothing to take away from her. Cow that's a little heavier in condition, a little bit maybe not quite as put together smooth and in her structure maybe as the cows ahead of her. A cow that gets maybe a little bit deeper in her chest floor, maybe breaks down just a little bit in her udder quality, and has a really nice young bull calf, just a end of May bull calf here that she's got on her side, but one that she's doing a really good job with, and just like the cows ahead of her, she's really keeping condition but still doing her job all at the same time.
Coming in the ring now is our last class with other bred cow-calf pairs with Hannah Bauer.
Then we're going to do our championship drive here on the for the cows, and then it'll be time for the boys to come in. Okay, so we mentioned crayons are made from using fats and fatty acids from beef. Soap. There's another item.
Another reminder, following this class, we will have our championship drive. So if you received a first blue, please be ready to come in. And if you received a second blue, be on deck.
Okay, something that a lot of guys use every morning, shaving cream has fats and fatty acids from beef cattle in them. Ladies, well, perfumes, you bet. That's right. Come from fats
The Grand and
fatty
Reserve
acids.
plaques are donated by Larson's Full Deck Genetics, and the banners are donated by Doug George Plumbing. Can we hear it for our sponsors?
Well, a really nice any other breed cow-calf pair that this young lady brings out to us today. Just a young 3-year-old cow that's maybe a little more in her working clothes today than some of the cows that we've seen here so far, but one that's really doing a good job. This is just a young June calf, and she's putting everything that she's got into this little guy, and a little heifer calf, and doing a really good job with her. But one that you got to really appreciate her from her structural soundness. One that's kind of puts her pieces together. Maybe like to see a little bit more body and everything about her. But again, like I said, she's a little more in her working clothes, maybe a little bit lighter in condition, but one that's doing a really good job as a mama cow the way she should be.
Also, a quick reminder, for directly following our championship drive, if you place Grand or Reserve Champion, you need to find Nash Weiss in the bright yellow t-shirt to get your picture taken by the backdrop.
Championship drive time. And thank you to our sponsors as well, including Alcivia Co-op, a leading member-owned agriculture fuel cooperative serving Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois. Visit alcivia.com. SFB Security Financial Bank, where electronic banking is easy. Visit sfbank.com for more information. Prime Realty of Durant, visit their website at primerealitymidwest.com. Prime Realty, they are the area's #1 home seller. Please thank all of our sponsors, as they're the ones that make our broadcast possible. Give them a call, drop them an email, visit their business and tell them thank you for supporting these video streams. Without their help, we would not be able to bring you these streams from the Buffalo County Fair. Again, cattle show this afternoon, or the beef show here this morning, and then later on tonight we'll have the livestock auction as well. Okay, we have some more as the championship drive is underway here. And then we'll have the boys coming in after that. Some other items made using fats and fatty acids from beef. For your car, believe it or not, for your car, brake fluid. Brake fluid. Fats and fatty acids from beef are used in brake fluid. They're also used in antifreeze. I kind of knew that. I remember hearing about that once before. Plastics, also linoleum. Really? Okay. Shoe polish, paint, and ceramics. Just a few of the items coming from fats and fatty acids from beef. And this compliments of Ag in the Classroom. Some good stuff. All right, our championship drive here our heifers and cow-calf pairs. We may have to have everyone take one step forward. We have a few more still coming in, or 2 steps forward. Get in the championship round here, and then we'll be bringing in the boys as well after that. As we continue with our video stream from the Buffalo County Fair here on the Beef Show. Later on tonight, we'll have the livestock auction as well. That's on the way. Those of you watching on our Facebook page, let us know where you're watching us from. You can put something in the comments. Should be able to do that on YouTube as well. It's a little harder for me, though, to check on YouTube. On Facebook Live, I can check that almost in real time. So, again, let us know. We've had Michigan checking in. We've had Colfax, Swam, D checking in Durand as well. So let us know in the comments. Casey Denk doing a nice job as announcer here this morning. Again, the ring's pretty full here, a lot of traffic.
Just a reminder, if you receive Grand or Reserve Champion, you need to find Nash Weiss by the backdrop to have your picture taken.
Okay, some other non-edible items that come from beef. We're going to go to from gelatin that comes from the bones. Glue, okay, we knew that one. Emery boards, I didn't know that. Also adhesive bandages, use that gelatin. Also from the hoofs and horns, piano keys. Pet shoes, oh yeah, Cookie's had some of those before. And from the hair of cattle, artists' paint brushes, and felt for weather stripping. Just a few of the items that come from beef cattle, some of the non-edible items. As we continue with our championship drive today. After this, we'll continue on with the boys coming into the ring as well. All the steers, different steer classes coming up right after this. Again, welcome as well to everyone watching not only in our YouTube channel at Duran Broadcasting WRDN, but also our Facebook Live page, WRDN 1430 AM Stereo, and our website at realcountry1430.com. Those of you watching on our Facebook Live feed, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Ellsworth checking in, Pepin also checking in. Oh, it's probably a really nice morning out in Pepin, on Lake Pepin.
Can we give one more thank you to Larson's Full Deck Genetics and Doug George Plumbing for sponsoring the awards for this class?
I think this morning would have been a really nice morning to go on out and do a little fishing. I have never really been even on Lake Pepin or in the backwaters, like going down by the Upper Mississippi River Wildlife Refuge. Always wanted to stop at one of those spots right along Highway 25. Just check it out, try my luck there. Thinking there'd be some. I like panfish. I'm a big panfish guy. There's nothing like panfish in when you use a cast iron pan. I'm going to tell you what. That there is awesome. Again, thank you to everyone watching this morning. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast. Please, as a reminder, thank all of our sponsors, too. They make our video streams possible. So give our sponsors a call, drop them an email, visit their business and tell them thank you for supporting these video streams. Without their help, we wouldn't be here at the Buffalo County Fair, or last week at the Dunn County Fair, Northern Wisconsin State Fair, or next week at the Pierce County Fair as well. Next year as well, looking forward with the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. We're going to probably do a few extra things next year from the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Had a lot of requests for the open classes, especially the dairy show. And so we're going to try to make that work. I have church services on Sunday morning and that sort of thing that I have to do for the station, but in advance I can make that happen where we can be able to do both. So that's something that we're looking forward to next year with the Northern Wisconsin State Fair. Right now, though, in the championship drive, and now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Looks like we may be taking a little bit of a break here in between our heifer show and the steer show. But we'll leave the video stream running. What we'll do is we'll just leave the video stream running. They'll give me a chance to also catch up.
We are going to take a 10-minute break between the breeding show and the market show for everyone to take pictures and get their market animals ready.
It'll also give me a chance to get some market updates
Well, let's start
done.
off by giving this whole group of young people out here in the ring a really good round of applause for such a great quality group of cattle out here. Really from top to bottom all day, man. There's been some have been pretty tough to sort because there have been so many good ones. Sorry, I'm taking a little longer here, but that's kind of the same deal out here, that we got some really pretty good ones. I pulled these guys off to the side. Nothing to take away from these guys over here. A really good set of cattle over here as well. But we got so many in the ring all at one time. Got to make some space. And so I kind of sorted my top end of a handful of my favorite picks out to this side. We talked them all a little bit in class, but we'll kind of run through them. Hereford heifer that came out of a decently sized class. Heifer's really the one that she hits you when she comes into the ring. Has got a lot of show ring presence about her. The young lady does a really good job of getting her presented. She gets out on the move and she just walks so comfortably. Got a lot of rib and capacity and depth of body. One that I think is going to make a really good cow for this young lady. Like I said in class, maybe if I had to pick on her a little bit, maybe she gets a little bit terminal looking up front. But you know, if that's your goal and you're producing market steers and show steers, boy, I think she's one that can really do it. Heifer that the Simmental heifer that comes next, another really good one. That when I talked in class, this is one that, man, does she hit you on the stand. She's fancy. She gets her head up and ties in that neck shoulder junction really well, really clean fronted. Heifer that really just, you know, she's really striking from that side profile. Has got a lot of muscle and capacity and a lot of good about her. One that I'd like to pick on her a little bit, that I'd like to just see her move a little bit more comfortably off both ends of her skeleton. She's just a little bit tight wound off both ends, and if I could just see her track out a little bit more comfortably, lay a little bit more, you know, level and comfortable into that top line and tie that tail head in a little bit more, boy, I think she'd be a really, really hard one to beat. Angus cow-calf pair that follows in here next. That's one heck of a cow, 2-year-old cow doing a job, really good job with that heifer calf on the side. Boy, that heifer calf's almost as big as she is, but she's doing a really good job raising it and looking really good at her own point. You know, she's not lacking in condition any, and commend that young exhibitor for doing such a good job of getting that cow out here and getting her presented. Red Angus heifer that comes out next. She's been one she's maybe been a little unruly with this young exhibitor here today, but boy, when you get her stopped and stand, boy, she really gives you a look. She's one that she's got plenty of depth of body, got that really nice front end to her. When she gets out on the move, she's comfortable. Just like maybe just see her be just a little bit tighter off, or less tight off her rear wheels, maybe just a little tighter than you like her to see, and just lay down in that loin junction just a little bit as well. Hereford cow-calf pair that comes out next. Just really good cow-calf pair. Like I said, we saw them first in the cow class, and I, was excited to see if they'd come back for cow-calf. And both those Hereford cow-calves brought in some really nice, fancy heifer calves at side, doing a really good job, just as that Angus cow-calf pair is as well. The senior yearling Hereford, boy, this one, like I said, has got a cow imprint on her. Boy, does she look maternal. She's got a good front end. She's got a lot of capacity about her. Really structurally correct. One that you can't pick a lot of holes in, but, one that she's one of those ones, too. She's just a little harder haired, but so what you see is what you get, and that's all right. Sometimes that's a really good thing. And then finally, the shorthorn heifer at the end of our lineup here, one that's really good, got a lot of depth and capacity, a lot of volume of rib shape, heifer that maybe like to smooth her out in her top line a little bit, tie those things together ever so slightly, just a little bit more smooth, but one that you got to really appreciate for all that she's got in her, and all the quality that she's got about her as well. And I kind of hope you kind of see what I'm kind of sorting out here. We really want these heifers. Obviously, we want them to be pretty, and like I said, it takes just as much money to feed ugly ones as it does to feed pretty ones. But ones that these really, what I'm looking for is heifers that are pretty, heifers that got some show ring presence about them and quality, but also ones that for these young exhibitors are going to go home and make a really good group of cows and really do their job. Obviously, you see some of these cow-calf pairs already doing it, but really, because that's what we're all about in this industry, is we love showing them, and I love showing them just as much as anybody else, but at the end of the day, if they're not going home and making cows and raising calves, then, what are we doing this for? But I'm going to go out and take one more last look at them, and then I'll go out and pick your champion, and then we'll see where we're at for reserve.
Congratulations, Allison George, on receiving Grand Champion. Congratulations, Elizabeth Wayne, on earning reserve champion.
So congratulations to Allison George, the grand champion on the breeding side, and with her heifer, and reserve grand champion goes to Elizabeth Wayne. We are going to take a 10-minute break. And with that, we will get ready for the market show. The boys are coming in next, but we're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll leave the video stream running, and we will be back here in just a couple minutes as well as we continue on with the Buffalo County Beef Show.
We'll be back at 10:45 with our first class of market feeder calves. We'll be starting our first class in 2 minutes. On deck, we should have our feeder calves with Mylan Bauer and Kaylee Fernolds.
Again, welcome back to the Buffalo County Fair. Just moments away from the market show of all of the different steers. The boys coming into the ring. And so we'll get that underway here in just a couple minutes. Thank you to Dunn Energy, your Touchstone Energy partner. NTech, your premier communications and entertainment provider, Durand. And Adams Super Service, your Napa Gold Car Care Center, downtown Durand. Please thank all of our sponsors. Give them a call, drop them an email. Visit their business. Tell them thank you for supporting our video streams here from the Buffalo County Fair, along with the Dunn County Fair last week, Pierce County Fair next week as well. Without the support of these businesses and organizations, wouldn't be able to bring you all of our video streaming coverage. Later on tonight, we'll have the livestock auction with the coverage beginning at about 6:55 or so. Some folks checking in from Ernie today as well.
We are going to start our ring for our first class of feeder calves.
Here we go. Feeder calves now coming into the ring as we start the market show.
On deck, we'll have Carter Heike, Emma Mirren, and Connor Weltzien for their market beef Holsteins.
What you got? What are those? Are those puffs? Those are numbing. Oh, those are numbing. She's like, no, you can't have it.
She's like, nope, I don't share. Watch the count.
And I don't blame her.
Nice to be our feeder calves to start off our steer show here. Going to start with the young ladies, black star-headed steer here. Just one that I think really excels in overall muscle shape and power and growth and performance really out of this steer. A steer that I think's got a really bright future ahead of him. Like to see him, as a full finished market steer because I think he could really do a good job for this young lady. One that I think has got a lot, really headed on the right track where he's at for his age, and I think has got a, headed in the right direction. Steer that comes out in second, nothing to take away from him. He's got some really nice structural pieces that he puts together. Sound as he gets out on the move, just obviously gets a little outpowered in this class. Gives up obviously a lot of weight and muscle mass to the steer ahead of him, but one I think will make a good steer for that young man down the road as well.
Now entering the ring, we'll have Carter Heike, Emma Mirren, and Connor Weltzien with their dairy market steers.
So we continue on with the Buffalo County Fair Beef Show. I'm Brian Winnekins from WRDN. Hope you're enjoying our coverage this morning. Just got done with the breeding show, and now it's on to the market show. Now remember, with the dairy steers, they're using all their energy not for milk, obviously, so that's why they're big. They're not like that Holstein that you're seeing, that Holstein dairy steer. A Holstein cow would look nothing even close to that. Obviously, be much thinner because the energy is going for milk production. And the dairy industry is one of the largest industries for
On
beef.
deck, we should have Hannah Bauer, Drew Juresic, Gavin Kraskowski, Dominic Moline, and Cadence Varaguth.
Again, the dairy industry is one of the largest parts of the beef industry as well. A lot of folks don't realize that, but they are. Those of you watching on our Facebook page, again, we invite you to let us know where you're watching from. You can put that in the comment section. See, Ernie checked in here just a little bit ago. We've had Wamandee, Pepin, Durand, Colfax, state of Michigan. Some folks from Michigan watching this morning. Wamandee as well. So let us know in the comment section where you're watching us from. On our Facebook Live page. You can also do that on YouTube as well. Should be able to, at least on YouTube. It's a little harder for me to check that one. That jersey's kind of cranky right now. I've had Jersey ribeyes, by the way. Ribeyes from a Jersey steer. Very unique flavor. Actually liked it a lot.
Well, really nice class of dairy steers to start off the market steer part of the show. And actually kind of some interesting variety and give and take in the steers that are going to be in our dairy steer class here. Going to start out with the young man's black steer. Going to be he says he's a Holstein Angus cross, and a steer that I think is, maybe sorting him against some purebred Holstein and Jersey, maybe is a little like sorting apples to oranges, but I think it kind of works in his favor a little bit. Steer that I think's got quite a bit of muscle mass. Like to see how he carries that all the way through to his lower 1/3. Steer that maybe you could, argue with me that maybe you could put just a little more finish on this steer, but a steer that I think because of his dairy characteristics that he still is going to come out and grade pretty well for this young man, but a really nice steer to start off that class. Follow up with a really nice Holstein steer here. Holstein steer that really actually, once you get on him and you handle him, he's actually got quite a bit of muscle mass underneath that as well, and a good amount of finish. Steer that maybe I'd like to fix him a little bit structurally in a few places. Maybe I'd like to see him move out a little bit more comfortably and tie himself in together just a little bit more smooth. But a steer that I think from a pure product standpoint is one that really can get it done and do a good job for this young man. Nothing to take away from the Jersey steer that comes out here in third. Another steer that's got a lot of good quality about him as well. One that maybe just gets a little bit more, a little softer on the handle, maybe just pushing a little bit more finish, maybe not quite as much muscle mass as the two steers ahead of him, but one that you got to appreciate the body and size that this steer has, and hopefully he's really going to dress well when it comes to him on the rail as well.
Now entering the ring, we should have Hannah Bauer, Drew Juresic, Galvin Kraskowski, Dominic Moline, and Cadence Varaguth. On deck, we'll have Dunbello Bauer, Hannah Bauer, Austin Fernholtz, Alan George, Allison George, Dylan Juresic, and Caleb Pronjinski.
And right now joining us, former Wisconsin State FFA President Casey Denk joins us from Mondovi FFA. She's been right next to me all morning. Casey, you're doing really well at this.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. After the 2 years of traveling around the state, I definitely had my fair share of speaking, but it's always good to do it in your home county. You get to see a bunch of people that you haven't seen since last county fair, so it's good to be back.
You used to show out here and you used to show steers. You missing it?
Yeah, I do miss it, but watching the exhibitors and watching them out at the wash rack this morning, just putting their hearts into their animals, it's good to see the county fair continue to go on and continue generations of families to continue showing.
You don't miss the wash rack part.
I never minded the wash rack part. I think it's kind of fun. We never took it too serious. I just showed dairy steers out of our feedlot, but I always had a blast at the county fair.
So when you're out there, what's going through the exhibitor's mind right now while they're out there?
I mean, I was always praying that my animal was going to behave, but I think they're also just very proud of all the work they've put in, and this is what they've been working towards their entire summer. So it's definitely a lot of pride, I think, for the animal that they have walking next to them.
Casey, what happens when your animal doesn't want to behave? You come in here and it's cranky. I mean, just because of all these people, it's a change. It's hot. There's someone behind you, doesn't like it. I mean, what do you do?
Right. I think that there's one thing to remember is like you have the support of everybody that's in the ring and everybody around. They will help you if something goes wrong, because at the end of the day, you can't tell your animal exactly how to behave. They're going to do what they want, and this is a new environment for most of them. So, but just knowing that there's people in the ring to help you, and everybody is doing it for the exhibitors, it's for the kids, it's for the experience. So just knowing that, I think, gives a good sign of relief.
As now we're getting close to the point where the judge is going to make his decision here. So now what's going through your mind? Is that I don't want to be picked first?
I don't know. I mean, you always want to be put at the top of the class, but I was always just praying that my animal's going to line up how the judge would want it to, and just praying to be you see if the judge is on your side or not that day. It always varies.
And everybody's, this is the point now. Every steer out there is getting a nice belly scratch. That's to keep them all nice and calm.
Yeah, that's keeping them calm. It's getting hot out there already, so we're just keeping them happy, keeping them calm and relaxed in the show ring.
Talking with Casey Denk. She's former Wisconsin State FFA president here at the Buffalo County Beef Show, and we're going to get our decision here, looks like, coming up. So we're going to let Kate, we'll continue our conversation with Casey, find out about some of the things she's doing here with FFA, or with being done with FFA. We'll be doing that here in just a couple minutes, but getting ready for, it looks like, our next decision here from the judge in this class. As he's thinking about it. All right, well. Down to our last four. Again, later on tonight, we'll have the livestock show as well coming up. Down to our final three here. And thank you to Provisions Health Durand, changing the way you experience healthcare. Find out more at provisions.health. 24/7 in West Wisconsin Telecom, building smart fiber optic communities from the ground up. Visit wwt.coop. Pierce Pep Cooperative Services, your Touchstone Energy partner. And Numbers Are Us, common sense bookkeeping and more. They're certified QuickBooks Pro Advisor and Daily Money Manager. Visit them online at numbersareus.com. You can also visit Rhonda here at the Buffalo County Fair as well. She's in the commercial building. Still waiting to get that last decision here. Please thank all of our sponsors. They make our broadcasts possible. Give our sponsors a call, drop them an email, visit their business and tell them thank you for supporting these video streams. Without their help, we wouldn't be here at the Buffalo County Fair today with the beef show and the livestock show later on tonight. We'll have the dairy show tomorrow at 9. We'll also have coverage from the Pierce County Fair next week. Believe it or not, 2 weeks from today is our first football game. 2 weeks from today, first high school football game. What happened to the summer, right? And those of you watching on our Facebook page, let us know where you're watching from. Make your comments you can let us know in the comments section. We have Michigan checking in, Ellsworth, Pepin, Ernie, Colfax, Durand. Starting to get a little bit warmer out here, but so far, at least in this class, the boys are going, okay, we can deal with this at the moment. Looks like we're down to our final 2.
Kind of a challenging class of market steers here. Kind of a challenging class, and I had to take a second look at these top 3 here. 3 steers that really got some give and take out of each other, and I think where I'm going to go with the young man's black and white steer here is really, I think, where this steer excels over the steer behind him is in soundness of structure. And I know they're market steers, but we still need them sound, and we still need them to get to and from the feed bunk. But steer that really is impressive as far as his muscle shape and dimension. Steer that really has a lot of bone and carries that all the way to the ground. Steer that you really got to appreciate for the amount of product that's really going to be in this steer when you hang him on the rail. Would you like to maybe see a couple hundred more pounds on him and a little more finish? Yeah, probably. But I think he's kind of on that right track that for this lightweight steer class, I think he walks away with it for those couple reasons. Now, the white steer that comes out for me next, that's the one that's a really challenge for me because this steer, he's also got a ton of muscle. And yeah, maybe he does have just a little more finish than the steer ahead of him. But a steer that once he gets out, he's really tight off of both ends of his skeletons. He wants to roll a little bit on those rear ankles and be a little bit rounder out of that hip structure. Steer that really, to me, like, that's where the first place steer beats him is just that soundness of structure. But a really good steer, nothing to take away from that young lady in second. Steer that comes out third, steer that is another really good one that you got to appreciate for his overall amount of muscle, overall quality of quality of product and everything that's in that steer. Steer that maybe just gets a little flatter in his muscle pattern in comparison to the 2 steers ahead of him. Maybe you want to carry a little bit more of that muscle down through his lower quarter and stifle and just see a little bit more of him as well. Hereford steer that comes out next, this is a steer to me that really, he just can use more time on feed. And then I think he'd be where he's at. He's structurally sound, he's put together well. Just a steer that maybe is a little, again, flatter in his muscle pattern, maybe doesn't have so much muscle expression as the steers ahead of him, and maybe lacking a little bit of finish when it comes to overall condition and finish on that steer. Finally, rounding out the class with a steer that, nothing to take away from this young man's steer, but one that's just maybe doesn't have quite the muscle expression when you handle him. He's just a little softer, maybe like to see a little bit more time and feed on that one as well, just to see him expand in that upper rib and carry that down through his lower quarter as well, just to get a little bit more product in that steer. But a really good class of lightweight market steers.
Coming in, we're going to have Dunbello Bauer, Hannah Bauer, Austin Fernolds, Alan George, Allison George, Dylan Juresic, and Caleb Pronjinski.
All right, our next class coming in. And if I'm reading my program right, we have one more class, and then that will be it for us, at least this morning, from the beef show, and then we'll get ready for the livestock auction later tonight. So I think we have one more class after this, and then we will be done with our coverage. They'll be taking a break to get ready for showmanship, and that's where we'll break away, and then we will continue on after that. We'll have the class and then the naming, of course, the grand champion here first before showmanship. So, but we have one more full class here coming up.
On deck, we'll have Zach Anderson, Madison Kurskowski, Tegan Kurskowski, Silas Mirren, Spencer Mirren, Trent Ritter, and Kaylee Schultz.
All right, as we continue on, and Casey Denkona joins us again, former FFA, state FFA president. We'll be chatting with Casey here in just a moment, as she's been running doing the announcing here for the beef show as well. She's been doing a good job with that. We're going to find out about some of Casey's future. As we continue on, we'll have one more class here after this, and then we'll be ready to go. And so Casey joins us again, and so Casey, okay, what you're done with FFA, so what are your future plans here?
So my future plans, I'm currently a crop insurance intern at Compeer Financial for the summer. And then when I go back to school in the fall, I'll be a senior, so I'll be finishing my agriculture business degree. And then I'm going to try to stay around the area. I want to stay involved with my family's farm a little bit, so I'm going to be looking for a job in the agriculture business field around the area.
So, and what, maybe Compeer, or, well, you can't really do agronomy, but there's still plenty of ag businesses here at the Tractor Central, something like that?
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely opportunities all around. And Compeer has been an awesome company to work with, and I'd definitely be interested in seeing if I could stick with them and just seeing wherever my future takes me.
What are you missing with FFA?
The people. I definitely miss driving around the state, meeting with all the members, talking to the FFA advisors. I mean, that's why you come to the county fair too, is to see all the people, and that was the biggest plus about state office too, is all the people you met.
So now, while you can't show out in the junior class, I mean, there's open class. I mean, I was up at Northern Wisconsin State Fair a few weeks back. That open class dairy show is kind of a big deal. I thinking about maybe doing some of that?
Probably not. I'll just, now that I'm aged out, I'll just stay more on the volunteer side and help out the younger exhibitors. But I know there are a lot of people that do the open class, and they really enjoy it.
All right. Well, Casey, again, I think we're going to be seeing you doing a lot more announcing here at the Buffalo County Fair.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
All right, Casey Denk, she's former state FFA president. Of course, she's helping out here at the Buffalo County Fairs. We're continuing on with our steers, our market class here, and we have one more after this. Then we have the naming of the champion and grand champion as well. And then we'll go on from that. We'll wrap things up this morning, and then we will go ahead and get ready for tonight's livestock auction as well. We'll be having coverage of that starting at about 6:55 or so. So looking forward to that this evening. Again, our livestock auction will be starting. We'll have coverage of that starting at 7 o'clock or about 6:55 tonight. Some other items happening here at the fair tonight. We have the big truck and tractor pull as well starting at 7 o'clock. Later on this afternoon as well, they'll be doing meat and dairy goats. Also, sheep will be happening as well here later on today at the Buffalo County Fair. Also, the band Bennett Valley Gray will be performing tonight. Tomorrow we have the Dweebs performing. Also the big Demolition Derby going on as well tomorrow starting at 5 o'clock. But again, we'll be back at about 6:55 this evening with our livestock auction here coming up. Those of you watching on our Facebook page, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know in the comments. We've had Michigan checking in, Pepin, Ernie, Ellsworth, Colfax, Durand. We've had Florida last week, Utah last week. Let us know where you're watching from. Put that in the comments on our Facebook Live page. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting WRDN. Don't forget to click the bell for future notifications. As not only do we have our livestock shows, yesterday's hog show was on there. Today's cattle show, the beef show, will be on later on this afternoon. We have livestock shows from last week's Dunn County Fair, also the Northern Wisconsin State Fair as well there. We'll have Durand High School sports on our YouTube channel as well. Durand City Council meetings and more. It's at our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting WRDN. Looks like we're down to our final two. All right.
Well, a heck of a pair of steers here at the top of the class in the middleweight crossbred steers. I think I'm going to start out with this young lady's red steer that we got here. A steer to me, you know, there's some give and take in this top pair, really, but a steer to me that just handles so fresh. A steer that really has got some look to him when it comes to that show steer presence, and really has got a lot of quality about him. Honestly, between 1 and 2, they handle pretty similarly as far as amount of muscle and amount of finish. Just a steer that, man, he is so fresh and he is so good looking, and he gets out on the move. And I think that's also where he may excel over second place just a little bit. We're going to bring out this young lady's black steer that comes next. Boy, is this another steer that, man, he's got a lot of product. He's, he's compact in his frame size that really this is a steer that I think is going to dress really well when he's on the rail. But a steer that maybe gets a little tighter in his skeleton, just gets a little tighter up in that spine. Like to see him move just a little bit more flexible as far as from a show steer standpoint, because when you got two steers that are this good, then you can start getting nitpicky on those little things in soundness and overall look and those kind of things. But two really good steers to start off the class. Young man coming out with the next steer. Boy, this steer is just a really raw, good product steer. Steer that you really got to appreciate him for what he is. He doesn't maybe have as much hair and flash as the two steers ahead of him, but boy, that's a steer that's got a lot of muscle about him. He's right adequate in his finish, right where he needs to be. Maybe a steer that gets just a little bit crestier, maybe doesn't tie in quite as well as the steers ahead of him, but boy, that's one good quality steer as well. Young man that comes out with the Blue Roan steer next. Another one of those really big, heavy muscled, high product type of steers. Steer that maybe gets a little more choked up front, a little bit shorter fronted and coarser fronted. Steer that maybe gets a little bit rounder in his muscle pattern overall. And I'd like to see just maybe a little bit more finish on that steer. But when it comes to raw product and muscle, that steer's got what we're looking for. Steer that's going to come out next. Steer that's maybe just a little bit plainer in his muscle pattern, plainer in what he is. Kind of the three steers following are actually kind of similar in that respect. That they're just a little bit flatter and plainer in their muscle pattern. But I think this one has the most adequate amount of finish of the steers left in the class. Steer that I think is going to harvest really well for that young man as well. Steer that comes out next, another one of those harder-haired steers that really you appreciate that you can really see the raw product underneath that steer. Steer that you'd like to see him carry that muscle maybe a little truer to the ground, maybe see a little bit more quarter in him, but a steer that I think is on the right track, maybe could use a little bit more time and feed on this one, and I think he'd be really good. Steer that rounds out the class, nothing to take away from him, but a steer that he put some good pieces together. He's a good performance steer, but a steer that, like I said, gets a little bit plainer in his muscle pattern, maybe not quite as expressive, just a little bit flatter and handles a little softer than some of the steers ahead of him. Kind of got just outpowered to the steers ahead of him, but a really good class of middleweight crossbred steers.
Now entering, we'll have Zach Anderson, Madison Kraleski, Tegan Kraleski, Silas Mirren, Spencer Mirren, Trent Ritter, and Kaylee Schultz.
So our last market class here. Then we have to do the grand champion, reserve champion here in the market class.
Did you smile, Brian?
Following this class, we are going to have the championship drive. We are going to bring in our first and second place blues into the ring right away.
Again, we'll have our championship drive after this, and then we will be wrapping it up here today.
Our championship drive will include our feeder calves, dairy steers, and the market steers. All of the classes will enter the ring. We'll have first and second place blue ribbons.
So again, after that, we'll step aside for the rest of the afternoon, and we'll be back at about 6:55 this evening with the livestock auction from the Buffalo County Fair. Join us tomorrow morning as well. We will have coverage of the Dairy Show. Coverage beginning at about 8:55 on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and also our video streaming page at our website at realcountry1430.com. Your home for farm news and markets throughout the entire day is WRDN Radio. We have 7 hours of farm programming Monday through Friday. All kicks off bright and early at 5 a.m. From 5 to 7, the WRDN Morning Farm Report. Farm news, farm markets, agriculture, weather, interviews with the newsmakers in the agriculture industry, along with dairy news with Bill Baker, farm news as well with Mike Pearson, and some great classic country music too, with the WRDN Morning Farm Report. During the 9, 10, and 11 o'clock hours at about 35 past, we have market updates. At 12:30, it's our noon show. Update on the farm markets, farm news, and agriculture weather as well. From 1 until 2, or 1 until 3 rather, Chip Flory has Agri-Talk with the latest farm news and markets and issues affecting the markets as well. That's with Agri-Talk 1 to 3 with Chip Flory, and then 3 to 4, it's America on Agriculture with more farm news and issues affecting rural America. We wrap things up at 12:30, or at 4:30 rather, with Susan Littlefield and the Final Bell, the Fontenelle Final Bell. Susan wraps up the day's markets, chatting with market analysts about the livestock, grain, and dairy markets as well. That's with the Fontenelle Final Bell. And listen on 1430 AM stereo and 107.3 FM WRDN. Also online on our streaming audio service at realcountry1430.com. If you have Alexa, just download the WRDN skill from Alexa and then say, Alexa, play Real Country 1430. We're also on Roku TV through the Live 365 app. Apple CarPlay as well. Google Home. Plenty of different ways you can listen for farm news and markets. Again, 7 hours every day, Monday through Friday on WRDN. Last class here in the market class of the beef show, and then we're going to have our grand champion and reserve champion announced after that. Those of you watching on our Facebook page, let us know where you're watching from in the comments section. We'd like to know. We've had a lot of nice folks from Michigan and Florida, Utah. Locally, we've had Ellsworth and Ernie and Pepin, Durand, Colfax all checking in, Wamandee as well. Next week, we'll have more coverage as well from the Pierce County Fair, our final fair of the fair season. That's coming up. And again, 2 weeks from tonight, our first football game. It's like, really? What happened to the summer, right? It's like our first broadcast again. 2 weeks from tonight, we have Durand at Spring Valley in high school football. And that'll be on August 18th.
Kind of a variety of steers with some give and take and you know, a little bit of differences actually all the way through this class in our heavyweight steer class. Going to start out with the young man's black steer here, a steer that to me, out of the steers in this class for his weight, has the most amount of muscle expression, an adequate amount of finish, and I think he really puts that all together in a really nice and attractive package. A steer that I think where he excels over the steer in second is he's just got a little bit more turn to that rib cage and a little bit more expression up top, where maybe that's where that the red steer that comes out in second gives up just a little bit. But the steer that really, the young man gets him out here and gets him presented really nice, a steer that I think is really going to dress well and make a really good market steer with a lot of product for this young man. Follow up with the red steer next. Another one that's got quite a bit of muscle expression. When you get behind him, he's got quite a bit of muscle in his quarter and carries that low and you know, a lot of muscle up in his shoulder. Maybe just a little bit, just a touch narrower than the black steer, not quite as much turn to his rib when you get above him, but still a really heavy muscled steer that's got a lot of product in him, a good quality steer that I think is going to do really great for that young lady as well. Steer that comes out next is a little challenging one. He gets to look maybe a little bit more, you know, waisty down low as far as the steer goes, maybe a little bit in that brisket. But honestly, on the handle, he handles actually quite surprisingly well. That he handles with quite a bit of muscle. Steer that I think has got a lot of product in him. You know, like I said, maybe he's got a little bit of extra gut feel today, but really one that I think has got a lot of muscle and a lot of product in him and a good weight for that frame size. He really fills out that frame really nicely for this young man, and a steer that's just a little bit different type and kind than the ones ahead of him. The next pair of steers that comes out is a little challenging one for me. They're both really nice steers in their own right, just a little, again, different type and kind. Little steers, or steers that are maybe just a little bit they're pretty heavy top, big heavy steered. Like to see that muscle carried a little bit lower into their lower 1/3. But this steer, I think, excels just a little bit in overall finish and condition over the steer behind him. Gray steer that comes out next. Young lady's doing a great job of getting him shown. Just one that maybe just gets a little bit softer on the handle than the steer ahead of him. But a steer that just maybe and just gets a little bit plainer in his muscle pattern. But a good steer in his own right. Pair of steers that comes out here to round out our class. Two steers that really, for me, are really kind of pushing a lot of finish at this stage of the game. Ones that maybe are a little past 12 o'clock and maybe didn't quite need that much finish. They could have been finished a couple 100 pounds ago and been just fine. But I think the steer that comes out here with this young man just has a little bit more muscle underneath that finish than the steer behind him. Steer behind him maybe just a little bit flatter in that muscle pattern. Doesn't get quite so expressive, just a little softer in that handle. But like I said, you know, in a world where inputs and everything is so expensive in the agriculture world today, we want steers that are really efficient and going to finish at the right time. And these steers got a little more frame, a little more cannon, and I think just push just a little bit farther than they maybe needed to be. But some pretty good steers in their own right as well.
It's championship drive time.
We are now going to start our Grand Champion Drive. Could all first blues and second blues make their way to the show ring?
So it's time for the championship drive. To name our...
The awards are sponsored by Full Deck Genetics and Doug George Plumbing. Can we hear it for our sponsors?
Again, as we get ready for the naming of the Grand Champion and Reserve Champion steer here in the market class, as we will wrap it up as well this afternoon, and we will return tonight for the livestock auction with our coverage beginning at 6:55 on our YouTube channel, also a Facebook page and a website. One of the largest livestock auctions that we cover, by the way, is here at Buffalo County. Thanks to we got some folks checking in from South Beaver Dam today. Welcome on our Facebook page. Thank you for watching. Again, those of you watching on our Facebook page, let us know where you're watching from the comments section. As doing our championship drive here. One Holstein in the whole group, but Casey's not bitter at all, right? She's not bitter at all. She likes those dairy steers. I like to say I've had Jersey ribeyes from a Jersey steer before that I really enjoyed. I would do that. I would have that again. It's a little bit different flavor, and a little bit the marbling is also, the fat is yellow, and so it's a little bit different than the Angus or the Holstein steers as well. And so now everybody take 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps forward. All right, we're going to walk the ring now, I think. Let's see which way they're going to go. Again, livestock auction coming up tonight. We'll have our coverage beginning at 6:55. Again, this is the largest livestock show that we cover.
A reminder for the Grand and Reserve Champion steers, please make sure to find Nash Weiss outside by the backdrop to get your picture taken.
There we go. A little bit of a traffic jam here, but we got her straightened out. All right. And away we go.
Let's go ahead and give all of our steer exhibitors a really big round of applause. Not a lot of numbers in the steer show, but actually a lot of quality all the way through. And I think I talked them all pretty well in class. But I think, kind of what I'm looking for is a steer that's got plenty of product in him, plenty of muscle, and the adequate amount of finish for the weight that he's at. And obviously we're showing steers out here today, so you want one with some show ring presence, some look to him on top of it. That's just icing on the cake at the end of the day. But I'm going to go ahead and pick your champion, and then we'll bring in a second place, and then I'll go ahead and pick your reserve.
Well, it's a clean sweep for Allison George. She gets the grand champion in the breeding and the grand champion steer too in the market class.
As we bring that second place in here, like I said, when we had them both in class, that was a heck of a pair of steers. And two that I think really sorted themselves to the top. We're going to keep them together and keep him as reserve.
Congratulations, Allison George on Grand Champion Market Steer and Hannah Bauer on Reserve Champion.
And so Hannah Bauer is the Reserve Grand Champion for the market class, and that is going to wrap things up here today from the Buffalo County Fair and the Beef Show. And we will return this afternoon at 6:55 with our livestock show coming up again, 6:55 for the livestock show. Until then, I'm Brian Winnekins from the Buffalo County Fair. Have a great afternoon.